In the last video, I spoke about how to change your business when it's kind of flailing or gone flatline in terms of sales performance, or it just needs a refresh. I like to reverse engineer things when I work with clients. So the first thing that you probably need to do at this point is actually assess some end targets. So what is your end goal? Is it that you want to work in the business for the foreseeable future? Is it that you are working towards an exit plan? Is it that you are working towards a kind of halfway point where you sell part of the business and stay as a sleeping shareholder, or giving it to your family? Is it a generational thing? So you need to start off with what you want to do at the point. And if you're a solopreneur, it's obviously very different. You might want to obviously sell it because when you want to stop work, you want to stop work, or you might want to turn it into a digital format that can live with you forever. The next thing aligned with that is that you need to figure out what that time scale is. So it might be a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 1-year plan, more aggressive, or for the next 20 years. Whatever those numbers look like. So for example, if you're working with someone who sells and buys businesses, and they've given you an indication of what value to get your business at for a particular time period, you need to figure out how you're going to get to that value. What do you want the value to be at the end point? It might be 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million. Work out how many customers you want to deal with at that point. Not everyone is in the volume market and wants lots and lots of little sales. Some people want 100 customers and that's it. So you divide that turnover figure that you've got in your head at the end point, divided by the number of customers you want to fulfill that turnover. And that essentially is your ARR, annual recurring revenue, if you have that model, or your LTV, which is your lifetime value of a client. So the difference there being the ARR is an annual ongoing revenue. If you sell things on a monthly basis, it might be your services, your consultancy, it might be software licensing, anything like that. But if you charge people on a monthly or annual basis, that is ARR. Whereas the other one, LTV, is more of a, well, this client keeps coming back and having this from me, but it's not regular, but I've been working with them for 10 years and they're worth this much. So now we're getting down to some numbers, and the numbers being really important, the numbers being what you want to earn and what's your average client worth. And now you've got to go looking for those clients. So you might be in a position where you're looking back retrospectively on what you've been doing before and saying, well, I've been targeting solopreneurs with my services, but I want to get $50,000 ARR off them each year. And although there are lots of solopreneurs that can afford that, there are a large majority that can't put that money into whatever you're giving them as a solution. So you might want to look at a different audience. You might want to scale up a bit to the 11 to 50 employees mark, or the 50 to 200, or beyond that. But as you climb that scale of higher number of employees per client, the sell becomes a little bit different, because you're not dealing with the owner anymore. You're potentially dealing with one of the directors at that point. And the bigger they get, you might be then talking to a manager. And again, the whole sales cycle and the process of sales changes. But certainly one thing that you want to work out is your solution or solutions. And I would certainly, if you've been struggling in the past few years, I would actually dial down to your main core solution, because it's much easier to offer one solution that solves one pain. You can always bolt things on at the end, but the best way to do it is just go right back down to the core of what you do. And from that, we create a high ticket, a medium ticket, and a low ticket offer. And in the next video, I'll talk about how we promote those three.